Welcome to Manga Machinations! This is episode number 571, and we're doing a Twipple Dip. I'm Dakazu, and with me is Morgana Santilli,
Oh, hi.
Seamus2389.
Hello. I was gonna say I'm back, but I was here last week.
You were. But do you know who else is back? It's Darfox8.
I'm back. I'm back.
Yes. I switched up the order.
Yeah, something was afoot. Something there was like a disturbance in the force. I just felt it felt weird.
I was not prepared. I was like, oh shit, I'm first.
Yeah, Darfox is back, which means it's been a couple weeks since all four of us have been together. I think it was actually the last Twiffle Dip we did on the Climber and DRCL. But it's very fitting that this week we will be looking at the first omnibus collection of Innocent Rouge for our main segment. Yeah, Darfox, we missed you last week when we were talking about Ghost in the Shell 2.
Yeah.
We were wondering how your Thanksgiving went. How did it go?
Oh, it was great. I was spending it with my girlfriend's family. I was not in town. And that went great. It was very chill. A lot of fun. Very good food. And I was in North Carolina, and there was like leaves with different colors. It's kind of crazy.
You got to experience fall like you usually don't in Florida?
A little bit, like just more than usual.
We don't have any leaves left up here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I heard.
It was fun.
Nice. We are recording live on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/MugMacTV. And we're starting a bit late today. So let me just go through everything really quickly. Essentially, we are a book club for manga. And before I forget, I want to first thank our coffee supporters. If you want to financially support us, head over to ko-fi.com/mangamac. And you can help support this podcast by buying us a coffee. Shout out to Tama Gamer, who just recently bought us a coffee this week. Thank you so much. You can be like Tama Gamer and also like Philip, Manga Machu, Vicky Dalton, Lulu, A-Liz, AT8, Chris from Canada, Deluid, Mia, Wyatt, Dr. Melface, Poor Mexican 72, Liquidus002, Exene, Jen, Neptic, and Shirley Bossy Cat. Thank you all for supporting our podcast. Okay, I'm going to skip the email that we had, and we're going to go right into what you been reading. So, Dar, sorry to put you on the spot because you just got back. Oh, wait.
I want to do a brief news segment.
Oh, interesting.
I think they've figured out a way for me to give a shit about a live-action adaptation of a Fujimoto anime manga, which is getting a director who I would actually watch a movie by anyway to do it.
Are you talking about the upcoming Look Back?
Yes, I saw who they directed and I was like, what? Him? I was like, huh, I might actually watch this now.
Who is it?
Like, so you go with pronouncing the name there.
I got the name, but I gotta let Seamus suffer through this.
It's the dash bit that throws me off. Hirokazu Kore Eda?
You nailed it. Good job.
Koreeda.
What makes you excited about this director?
I've seen like 10 of his movies.
Any
wow.
that we would recognize?
I think his most famous movie might be Shoplifter, which I didn't actually watch. I haven't seen yet.
In true Seamus form, he doesn't start with like the most like mainstream one.
But I don't know why that one got so. Well, I don't even know how popular it is, but like that seems to get brought up. Maybe nobody knows about the other one. Like that was the one that I heard about him years ago.
I think I've heard of Monsters.
Oh yeah, that one. That was only a couple of years ago. I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah. Yeah. Besides that, none of this seems like super familiar to me.
Interesting.
I don't know. Like like a lot of his his movies are like kind of family dramas.
Mm-hmm. Just
Sounds kind of perfect for look back.
yeah, kind of. He could swing that.
And also, I think like well, at least some of his earlier movies were like dealing with like people trying to deal with grief and loss, that kind of stuff.
Ooh. Okay. So a little
Although
on the
not,
nose.
Very
not,
perfect for
not
look
so
back.
much the recent ones. It was one where I was like, oh, in fact, he's directing it. Now I might actually like pay attention to this movie. If I watch it, I don't know, but
Yeah. Before hearing you say that, um, I was not interested in a live action look back because I feel like the anime film was already just like enough. Like the manga's enough, and then the anime film was great too, and that was enough. But hopefully, it's really good.
Do we think it's going to be longer than the 71-minute anime movie?
Probably, which is the big bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool then, Seamus. I didn't think anybody would like we would even talk about that movie.
Yeah. When you least expect
I,
it.
I literally just saw his name. I was like, he's doing. I was like, an actual legit director. No offense to like most anime directors, but like this guy is like a well known one. Like if you know like contemporary Japanese cinema, like this guy is like a well known name in that. Like
Wait, this guy won the Palme d'Or? Isn't that like the Cannes Film Award?
yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Mango's
Jesus.
Mango's getting serious.
So prestigious. All right, we'll keep an eye out for that one then. But yeah, anything else, Seamus?
nope.
Okay, I will throw it to Dark Fox.
Who, me?
Yeah, buddy, what were you doing these past 2 weeks besides Thanksgiving and stuffing your face?
I didn't do. I'm trying to think if I did it. I definitely didn't do much manga. I'm trying to think if I did any anime. The only thing that I would like to talk about, and I won't talk about it long because it's very much removed from anime manga, is Pluribius. It's a new Vince Gilligan show. Vince Gilligan is a creator of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. He has a new show on Apple TV, and it's a science fiction show, which is kind of um, it makes sense because Vince Gilligan wrote and he might have even directed a couple episodes of The X-Files. So that's kind of like where he got his big break, was doing X-Files stuff. So now he's kind of going back to his roots and doing just kind of like eerie science fiction stuff. Enough of the like, meth heads and gangster stuff. Now he's doing weird sci-fi stuff again. Um, yeah, and if you haven't heard about this show, it's basically like a situation where um it seems like a situation like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where the whole world starts getting taken over by something, but it's more like everybody is getting basically combined into one humanistic hive mind. Every single human is joining into one hive mind, um, and everybody is like super kind. It basically solves all the world's issues in one go. Um, Except that there's 12 individuals in the world where it didn't work on. For some reason, the virus didn't hook into them. So they're the only ones that aren't part of the hive mind, and it isn't. It's presented as eerie, but it's deliberately presented as not scary or violence. Where like the hive mind isn't violently hunting them down. They're trying to make them as comfortable as possible, and they're basically telling them, "Hey, we want you to join us because this is great. Everybody sharing the same mind. This is literally heaven on earth. We're so happy to be together, and we just want you to join us. So we're gonna we're gonna find a way to join you. Until then, anything you want, we will give it to you. Like at one point, a character asks for like Air Force One, and they bring him Air Force One, and he gets to fly on Air Force
What?
One. Yeah, like literally the entire world is at these 12 humans' service. But there's a sinister edge to it because they want to turn you. Period. They're not gonna really take no for an answer. So there's clearly some sort of programming in the system, but there's a lot of good little twist. first thing I'll say about criticism of the show is that it's pretty slow show. There's very slow plot movements. You're spending most of the time with the main character Carol, who is very distrusting, and she's very like unhappy about the situation. And I'll spoil you some stuff. Basically, she meets some of the other survivors, some of the other people who aren't affected by the virus, and they have a very different attitude. They're like, "We want to join too. Like, I want to be with my son. My son is part of this, so I want to be part of it, right?" One of the guys, he's like, like he's basically having a hedonistic like fantasy because he can have sex with anybody. He could say, "Hey, bring me the body of um suddenly I cannot think of any one attractive person ever. Bring me the body of attractive person A." And then like he could have sex with them. And it's still them in the sense that every single person in the hive mind has their memory and their previous personality, but he's actually having sex with the hive mind. There's literally one person. It's all of humanity, and it's just one personality, and the personality is super nice and super subservient. But the sinister edge to it is that it all seems too good to be true. And the season isn't done yet, so we don't know where it's going. But they've answered a couple questions about like what's going on. And one of the things about the show is that like it keeps kind of teasing you with like, oh, this is the bad part about it. This is like um this is like the evil side of it. And then you realize, okay, it's not actually an evil side of it. It's actually very easy to explain what's happening here. So like it's very much resisting turning the hive mind into a villain, which is the interesting part of the show. The hive mind is almost just like another character. Um and sometimes it feels like the hive mind is in a relationship, like a romantic relationship with Carol, because they bicker and um they argue, and then Carol like is really mean to them, and then she's like feels bad because she's really mean to them. So then she tries to apologize, and is very deliberately like having like all these like relationship like coded situations, except it's like you're in a relationship with the entire planet. It's very interesting. Again, I would say, if you don't want like a slow show that isn't going to give you a lot of answers and isn't going to like progress the mystery very quickly, um probably isn't for you. But I've really enjoyed it. I mean, like just the character work and like the acting is just like it's really really good. And The thing I really like about Breaking Bad is like the humor. That's like by far my favorite part about Breaking Bad, and some of that's still here too. I haven't had like a lot of time for it, but I think it's a cool show if you have Apple TV. It's a streaming show. Um, and it's just weird. It's very different from Breaking Bad, which I'm glad he was able to go do something different. Um, but yeah, it's called Plurbius, or
Is
is
that the title of the AI or whatever virus thing?
no, like I don't know what the word means. But I think it is stylized as a one, like plur one bus. Um, it might be has to do because the way the show starts is that it shows um people who they listen to space signals. They pick up a signal, right? And it's like a four sequence, so they're like, oh, this is going to be hard to like decrypt. And then they realize, wait, it's not a um I'm sorry, I just Google search Plurbius, and there's like a scrolling texting. They must have paid money for Google, because it's a scrolling text saying, "What are you looking for, Carol?" Because like the whole world is very subservient to Carol, so they're always asking her whatever. I started to get distracted. Um, the like they realize, oh, it's not like a message to be decrypted. It's a DNA sequence. So like the humans basically create their own virus that um brainwashes everybody, or hooks everybody up into the hive mind. So like that signal could have been going on for it could have been gone well before humans existed on Earth, right? So like your first instinct would be like, oh, so like it's to make the humans like easy to invade or something like that. But it might not even be something like that. It might be something completely different. Um But yeah, it's an interesting show, and I recommend it to them.
Maybe I'll check it out. Thank you, Darfox.
You're welcome.
Morgana, you have anything?
I do have just one thing I want to plug real quick. Preface this by saying that I work for Yen Press, so anything I say after this is not necessarily the opinion of my employer. But we just published at Yen Press an art book called Clamp Color Kuro. It is a Clamp art book. We just talked about Clamp a couple weeks ago. Kodansha is actually publishing a partner art book, Clamp Color Shiro. So we're doing black, they're doing white. But I looked through. I have the yen copy, the black Kuro, and it's really beautiful. I have not yet seen Shiro, and I really want to see it, but Kuro is just, it's full of artwork. I mean, it's an art book, okay? But it's beautifully done. Just if you're a Clamp fan, if you're a fan of manga from like the 90s and 2000s, it's full of beautiful work. Cardcaptor Sakura, Magic Knight Ray Earth, Rigveda, their very first. There's a bunch of Rigveda art. Most of the stuff in there I recognize, but there are a couple series I did not recognize. I don't know if they ever made it into English in print, but yeah, really, Miyuki-chan in Wonderland is in there, which I never got a chance to read, but which was available in English long ago. Tokyo Pop published that. So yeah, if you're a Clamp fan, it's out there. I believe it came out just recently. I can't remember our on sale dates. You think I would remember these things, but it's really nice. And I am in general a hater of dust jackets. However, this is a paperback with a dust jacket, and under the dust jacket, the cover is actually different. So if the dust jacket is covering something different, I'm more okay with it. I hate when a dust jacket is just the same thing as the cover.
Yeah, it's kind of
You know,
boring.
yeah, or if it's just covering like a plain book, like why didn't you just print the cover of the book and forget the dust jacket? Because they're annoying. They get in the way. But if you collect art books, if you're a Clamp fan, it's really beautiful. It's out now. I'm gonna have to get my hands on Shiro as well, so that I can have both of them. I love art books. I'm a big sucker for art books, and I'm a bit of a sucker for Clamp. I'm not like the biggest Clamp fan. I haven't read all of them, but as we discussed a couple weeks ago, I love me some Clamp. I'm an old taku, as they say. So it's nice to see these things coming back. It's nice to see that these are available. We also recently, I haven't read our copy yet, but we also recently brought back DN Angel. I don't know if any of y'all read that. It was available in the 2000s from Tokyo Pop until they went under. We're bringing it back in like I think it's a 1.5 or a 2-in-1, like omnibus, basically. New edition. It looks really nice. I have my copy. I haven't read it yet. I get really excited that a lot of titles are being rescued. So yeah, go check it out. It's great.
I always confuse DNA Angel with DNA.
Yeah,
And
I was thinking that.
if you were watching this stream, you see me make a face. That face wasn't meant for DNA Angel. It was meant for DNA.
No, DN Angel is great. It's about a kid named Daisuke who he comes from a family of thieves. And on his 14th birthday, he learns that he is becoming the Phantom Thief Dark. And Dark and Daisuke share a symbiotic relationship, well, parasitic relationship with, you know me. Two souls, one body, I'm there. So it's really fun. It's a really cute, and the trigger for Daisuke to turn into Dark is to think about the girl he has a crush on. So it's very much like teen romance, mystery stuff. Dark is really hot, like a hot older guy. And of course, Daisuke's crush falls in love with Dark, but doesn't know that Dark is Daisuke because it's the whole Yugi Anzu Dark Yugi thing.
The whole
There you
chicken and
go.
the egg thing.
Exactly, exactly. It's been done since time immemorial, right? But *DNA Angel* is really fun. I read it in middle school, at least the first volume, so I'm kinda looking forward to checking it out again now as a 35-year-old.
Nice, nice. Is there any chobits in that book?
I think there is one piece of Chobits art. Um, Chobits is not my favorite, Clamp, we've discussed this. Though I also don't like Clover very much, I have to be honest with y'all. I don't love
Oh,
Clover.
is there actually any clover in there?
There's some Clover in there, yes. Clover, there's Legal Drug, there's X, Tokyo Babylon, um, Suki, a love story, Suki, a like story, which is a really like niche 3-volume series of theirs that was available in English, which I really liked. But it's a very, very sweet, low stakes, like super tame romance. But there are illustrations for that in there as well. So, Shirihimashio, which is their like Snow Maiden folktale single volume. There's art for that. Yeah, lots of really beautiful stuff. Covers from, you know, soundtrack albums, specials, OVAs, everything just kind of in there. And it is just the images, and then at the back it gives you details on like what series they were, when they came out, the image came out, and what it was from. But there's not a whole lot of like, there's not commentary or anything like that. It's just pictures, and they take up the whole page in every, every page is just full of art. So, which I kind of like. I mean, sometimes the commentary is nice if it comes from the artist, but if it's not that, I just want to see the art myself.
It's kind of interesting how Kodansha is doing the other art book.
Yeah, I have to assume it has to do with what properties are included in which. Although that said, I mean, there's Cardcaptor Sakura and Sakura Clear Card and Ray Earth in our yen version, and those are all Kodansha titles. So I don't know. I'm assuming that Kadokawa in Japan published the one that we're publishing, and Kodansha in Japan published the other one, because Clamp is published by both
Yeah.
companies in Japan. So I believe this was done in conjunction with some kind of anniversary art show. So yeah, I think each company in Japan got a chance to publish their own version, and so each publisher in the States that kind of represents each of those gets to publish one.
Very cool. I'll probably wait to see if it possibly goes on sale, because those art books, expensive.
Yeah, I think this one is a little. I think it's around 30.
55.
Is it 55? Jesus. What do I know? I only sell the books. I can't keep track. Yeah, no, I understand why. It is full color. It is very nicely printed. The cardstock on the cover is really nice as well. A really nice textured paper. So, yeah, art books are pricey, but I'm kind of used to buying art books, so, and I didn't have
Still
to
very
buy this
cool.
one. Yeah.
All right, nice, Morgana. Okay, I will go. This week I read some Natsume Ono.
Nice.
She put out a single volume release called Kozure Doshin, which basically translates to Lone Constable and Deputy Child. Kind of a play on Lone Wolf and Cub. I just sent the other hosts a link to the sample pages on the Shogakukan website. This is not available in English. And the thing that stands out about this manga, Morgana, is that I'm almost positive that Natsume Ono drew all of this manga with a black ink brush. Like, the traditional Japanese black ink paintings for calligraphy and everything.
Sure is what it looks like.
So like not only like just like the text that she draws for like the cover title, but even like with the painting of the characters and her usual thick outlines. I think like you can see like all the shading is not done with like screen tone. It's done and it looks like faded and gradual, so I think that's all black ink brush.
Yeah, it looks like it. It's
And that was
beautiful.
probably the most lovely thing about this book. The story itself is very simple. The constable with the child is named Iori Tachibana, and he has snake eyes, you know, typical Natsume Ono frog eyes. So his eyes are scary, but he's always smiling. And so yeah, in the first chapter, the constables are surrounding a criminal, and the criminal comes at him because he's the one with a dumb smile on his face. And so he's always gets picked on by his, you know, superior. But the superior is very like secretly sweet on his like son. This constable lost his wife when his son was born. And it's just like it just follows stories of like him doing some work, and his son goes around like, you know, running away from the house and just going on explorations and getting lost and getting sent back home. And it's just very simple stuff. There's barely any kind of story there. It's kind of like a slice of life for Edo era Japan, constable in Japan, with lovely, lovely drawings by Natsume Ono. And I really liked it.
Sounds delightful.
She has that other samurai series that was over on the Viz subscription.
House of Five Leaves.
Yes, which I read, and I did like that. But you know, Natsume Ono is just so good at these like kind of like mundane slice of lives, and it's interesting to see her do that here in the Samurai Edo period. This was a manga that read in Web Ikipara Comics. So I'm guessing that's like a spin-off of maybe Iki before it died. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Kozure Doshin by Natsume Ono. Okay, the other thing I want to talk about is also a manga. I want to talk about 2.5 Dimensional Seduction by Yu Hashimoto. I've talked about this manga before, but the premise is it takes place in high school and it's all about cosplay. The main guy, it's basically a kind of a harem manga, and like a, you know, an ecchi one, a spicy one. But the main character is the president of the manga club, and he doesn't believe in like love. He has no love for like real girls. He only like loves his two-dimensional girls. But then like a new underclassman comes in and wants to join, and she loves cosplay and sexy cosplay. And then he's like, "Oh no, I'm being seduced by this 2.5 dimensional being," because it's not quite, you know, 3-dimensional or 2-dimensional. And she loves his favorite anime character. This is a super popular series. It has an anime. Eiichiro Oda has praised this manga, saying that you come for like the sexy stuff, but then you stay because it's a really nice, heartfelt drama. And I would agree. That is kind of the thing. It starts out with just kind of like the typical ecchi romance, and there's like, you know, two main love interests, but then you stay and it gets like more heartwarming and more like more nice, but all between like lots of sexy, you know, girls doing cosplay.
It's like My Dress Up Darling.
Yeah.
Kind of unexpectedly wholesome.
Mm-hmm. I would say this one is a little bit more spicy than My Dress Up Darling. I think that one's a little bit more wholesome and sweet. But here's the thing, Morgana. This has reached its conclusion. There's only one more chapter left, and it's going to be an epilogue. I wanted to talk about this series because there's something about these like manga romantic comedies that have like, oh, there's two possible love interests. Who's gonna win? How's it gonna be? Whatever conclusion it has, and I won't give spoilers about this, but whatever conclusion it has, everybody goes apeshit. Darfox, you have famously on this podcast talked about how you liked We Never Learn.
Yep.
Which is very surprising to me, because that's another like Shonen Jump harem series. But Darfox really liked it. Remember how when We Never Learn ended, people were also going crazy? Especially because the choice in that series, Morgana, one character was chosen, and then it said, what did it say, Darfox? Like, possibility one end or something?
Yeah, or
route.
Yeah,
one?
probably route, because that's what the games call it, route one end. So it basically gave an ending for each of the girls where they become like the main girl,
A dating sim.
basically,
Mhm.
which I felt was just extremely cowardly and just like
Yeah,
very
like
lame.
commit. I mean, I guess harems are not my favorite, right? But I grew up in the 90s and 2000s. It's not like I'm not familiar with them, but always had the sense when consuming one of these harem series that there was a single correct outcome, right? Like in Ranma, you're like, it's Akane, like obviously.
Right.
In I don't know, Tenshi Muyo, maybe that's a little bit more. It could be either one, but there are more girls than there are possible outcomes. In Tenchi Muyo, there's like 2 options. It's gonna be one of the 2, even though there's like 6 girls, right? I don't like this. Like, here's a bunch of girls, and we feel kind of equally about all of them. Like, no, this is not the basis on which a relationship is made.
A man cannot stand on 2 boats at the same time. Famous Chinese proverb.
Seriously. And I will say I'd be fine with it if it was like a polyamorous situation. I'm just gonna
Sometimes they do that.
and that's I mean, I have mixed feelings about that in terms of like, is this actually a good representation of polyamory, or are we just letting our guy get his dick wet in many different,
is it just a heroin fetish?
Right, exactly. But just commit to one woman, god damn it.
Well, I will say in this, they did commit,
Nice.
and people went apeshit.
Suicide.
In Seamus's eyes, that is the only correct choice. Main character offs himself.
You know what? Sometimes in a harem series, that is the best outcome you can hope for.
So fans
Go
are
ahead.
terrible. Fans are always terrible. And I know that's like a huge generic or not generalization, but like, yeah, it's just going to be a subsect of fans, whether they're big or small, they're going to be loud as hell online.
Yep, and it doesn't help
yeah.
that this series runs on Shonen Jump Plus, which is the web or app division of Shonen Jump. So that had a comment section. I've talked about that comment section before. It is bad. It's like the most, it can be the most toxic shit I've ever seen. There's one series on Shonen Jump Plus that is so hated, they started removing comments, the negative comments. So the trolls instead decided to give that series like sarcastic praise. Like, oh man, this is the best chapter ever from the best manga on this platform. And it was just like, it's all obnoxious. It's all annoying to read. And you know it's bad, Morgana, when people are like, man, I just come here for the comments, man.
Okay. Darfox is right. Fans are terrible. I want to remind everyone, and I don't think our audience is the problem, but I would like to remind everyone that creators don't owe anybody shit. They're writing their story. Let them write their goddamn story. You don't have a say in how that turns out. Damn it.
They're like, you gave us a comment section, so we're gonna like use this to voice our like displeasure.
And that's fine. Having an opinion about a work, disagreeing with the way it turns out, that's fine. My problem is that so much of this kind of
Entitlement.
Yeah, entitlement, and these comments have been taken as feedback as opposed to venting, and I just feel like sometimes it ends up changing the course of artworks, for
Oh,
better or for worse.
100% for a serialized series. Yeah.
Yeah, and it pisses me off because I don't think art should be made by committee necessarily, you know what I mean? Certainly not a committee of randos on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
But to be clear, though, we are talking about some. Now I'm going to sound elitist, but we are talking about something that's like very bottom of the barrel. It's like it's people arguing about what girl was chosen at the end of this like
Who's their
harem
favorite
manga.
waifu?
Yeah, like
Yes.
Right,
we're,
yes,
we're
yes.
literally watching like bums fight over like the crust of a sandwich. You know, it's like at a certain point, you know, outside of it becoming harassment or something like that, it kind of doesn't matter to a certain extent. It's
Absolutely.
kind of annoying at most.
Yes.
I gotta reiterate, this can become ugly. This can become harassment, and you know, I don't know if there is anything that's gone past this comment section and has gone into, you know, Twitter or whatever social media. You know, like that stuff can get nasty. But like at a certain point, just like it's just silly, and people are being silly.
I mean, they have turned comments off on certain series. And actually this week, they turned off comments on the website because you can access the manga through their app or on their website. On the website, you can no longer just put in comments. You have to like download the app.
I think, you know, maybe it was a problem when this kind of fan reaction should be relegated to forums, and forums no longer really exist in the same way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like Reddit or whatever, but it's not like people like publishers or creators don't look at those things and consider those things when they're making their work. And I'm not saying that no creator should ever take any criticism or any feedback. Um, but yeah, it becomes like you can't make everybody happy, especially in a situation like this. How many ever girls there are at least that many people who have a differing opinion on who should be the, you know. And yes, this in particular is a very silly example, but there are other examples where, you know, I mean, we all know Sonic's design was changed thanks to the internet. That is one circumstance where I will say I agree. I'm glad they changed it.
Yeah, those
But
teeth.
God, those teeth. Uh, but you know, I definitely have some misgivings about letting that become normalized in any way. And not for nothing. Sorry, I just wanted to
No,
say,
go ahead, please.
like, consider the feelings of the creator when you comment on their work. Like, if you like this work, maybe you should treat the person who made it with some modicum of respect. I don't know.
But then like you have things where people don't like it, so they have zero respect. I will say the comments got cleaned up for like 2 days after they made this change this week. And then I noticed, oh, I see some a little bit more negative things creeping back in now. But yeah, it's like you said, Morgana, it's silly. It's like this is a silly story about high schoolers cosplaying, and there was one girl that got chosen over the other, and people are losing their goddamn minds.
And
It's just like,
for whatever it's worth, I admire his artistic integrity of choosing one girl and not creating a harem ending or a choose your own path ending.
listen, Dar, he didn't do the route ending, but there was some stuff that happened at the end, which is, I think, why people are more upset. I can't really get into specifics on that
Okay,
without spoilers.
I'm gonna just close my eyes and imagine. It's like he chose one, but he's cheating on her with the other girl.
No, nothing bad like that. But let's say, like, the author maybe tried to do a bit of a swerve.
Okay. I can see why people will be annoyed by that.
They're
Yeah.
twins.
One of them dies, and then her soul is reincarnated into the heart of the other one.
It's the same girl in cosplay. I mean, it's a cosplay series, right? So
The main character has a twin, and then the twin dates the other girl.
Wait. Did you just say the ending?
No, that's obviously.
oh, okay.
Okay. I would
I
believe
made a
it.
joke. I didn't
That'd
think
be great.
she
Okay,
was
I
dumb.
believed it, bro. I believed it.
I'd have believed it, like, you know.
I just want to say, this is I don't know if this is spoilers or not, but the last chapter is called End of 2D or like beginning of 3D or something like that. Oh, that's so funny to me.
Yep.
Get out of your mom's basement. Chapter name.
It's just so funny that like this whole series it's about a character who really needs to go out and touch grass has enraged so many people to the point where you want to say to them go out and touch grass because
Yeah.
this literally does not matter at all.
Life imitates art.
Right?
It's cyclical. I guess the one thing, and I feel like we might have talked about this to some extent, or maybe we were talking about it on a different platform. But do the comments ever influence editorial in any way? Like is
The
it
editorial definitely looks at them and relays them back to the manga artists about, okay, this had a positive reaction. People were into this. People like this. People like what you did with that. I don't know how much they're looking at the negative stuff.
so it's like a new more immediate version, or not? Actually, no. I was gonna say it's a new more immediate version of like the poll system that the magazine used to have, but no, it's not really. But like,
I mean, I feel like the editors are smart enough to ignore the troll comments and maybe focus on things that, like, the fans really liked this new character, or they like where this story is going, so maybe we should, think about how we develop this a little bit more. That's what I hope is happening, at least.
I mean, that would be a better outcome. I still have mixed feelings about that because
Right.
I do feel like it's like let's shoehorn something in because people liked it. I know it's a commercial
It's
product.
entertainment, it's for
I get it.
popularity, and they
I
want to sell
understand.
stuff, so.
I understand. I'm not super mad as long as they're not like, oh no, the fans hate that this girl has a mole, so you better write a story about how she gets surgery to remove the mole so that people aren't mad. When it gets granular like that, then I'm just like, I can't even take manga seriously anymore, and I'd like
I
to.
feel like old editors would like just have their own opinions. Like, this character isn't working. Let's kill him off.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
definitely happened before.
I mean, but if that is like their editorial expertise or their understanding of the market from experience.
Yeah, that's one thing.
That's
as
a
opposed to all
different-
the fans are saying you should kill off this character.
Right. Exactly. That is a different. I don't love that either, but I still, at least there's like guidance and expertise and knowledge of storytelling there, hopefully, not just let's appease a whole bunch of angry people on the internet, which again, I don't know that's necessarily happening, but I don't like the idea that people think they can make it happen either, like if they scream loud enough. Because there are definitely people on the internet who are like, let's pressure so and so because it's terrible, and I don't know. Fans are terrible.
Yeah,
says a fan.
I was thinking about this situation, and it kind of reminded me of, like, sorry to bring this up, professional wrestling fans. And I know, Seamus, you hate, like, crowd chants and crowds, like, getting all rowdy and, like, trying to
Okay,
talk over.
let's be specific. US crowds. Don't, there's people in Mexico, there's people in Japan, there's people in Ireland. They are all good. Focus on the problem.
Is it the vocal chants and them wanting to sound and have a good time?
It's them trying to insert themselves into the show and be part of like take over the show in a way. It's like,
well, no, it's also just a lot of the chants are just like, they are chants like you would not hear at an actual sporting event. To me, professional wrestling this is fake fighting. And you should be treating it like, you are at an actual fight.
So you should be screaming, "Bash his head in!"
Yes, that's what I want to see.
You-
People should be like, literally like, well, I was going to say like Puerto Rico is a good example, but that's actually a bad example because they're actually like going at wrestlers there.
You want
Oh,
people
like
to
literally
scream,
trying to throw hands. Okay, yeah, that's bad.
"Give him the chair!"
Oh, I mean, as in literally like they would like attack wrestlers and never leave.
Yeah,
matches.
no, don't do that. Yeah. But there are like some cases where like fans wanted, they're pushing for a wrestler and that wrestler actually got pushed because they had fans. Or sometimes like, the people the bookers, the people controlling the storyline of the wrestlers are like, well, we don't want to push this person. And, we want to push this other person. And the fans, revolt, get all pissed.
What all of this makes me think of, and I do wonder if this is mostly American, U.S. fans, even for the kind of manga feedback. At least that's what I see, right? Because I don't read in many other languages. Is there? I feel like there's this sense of like you don't want to be surprised by something. You don't want to you want everything to be predictable, and I think that's
In
terrible.
wrestling parlance, you don't want to be worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when I read something, I don't want to know what happens. I mean, I do enjoy solving a mystery, right? Like if I'm reading a mystery novel or whatever, I do want clues. I do, but I don't necessarily want to affect the outcome or know the outcome ahead of time. I would like to, I mean, that's the joy of stories. And I would say, wrestling too is a story in a way, right?
Mhm.
So I just I is this kind of an extension of we get so much of our media and our entertainment in very short bursts, in very predictable bursts. We kind of know the outcome of things. Are we like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm starting to get up in my own head about this, but like let things be a mystery. Get comfortable with not knowing. It's much more fun.
You know what's funny, Morgana? Like, I was looking at the comments for this final chapter, or penultimate chapter, there's one more. But I was looking at the comments over on Manga Plus, the English version, the international version. They're way more just happy and polite. And it was the Japanese comments that were, like, really ragging.
All right, so
this
it's not cultural. It crosses boundaries. I mean, if the US fans are terrible with wrestling, the Japanese fans are terrible with manga, I guess. I can only speak to the American experience, but anyway, across the board, I'm telling you, my friends, embrace uncertainty. Enjoy the ride. It's not that big a deal.
And everything
This
does have
is low stakes.
everything doesn't have to fall into exactly like the same patterns that like you expect.
Go write fan fiction like a normal person. I don't.
Or run your own manga podcast, and you can complain about it on there, like I do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay to not like something. It's okay to not like how it ended even. I just feel like maybe don't scream at the creator of it. I don't think it's their problem.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard when they give them a platform to do it,
Yeah, and they really shouldn't. They really shouldn't. I think an anonymous survey once a quarter or whatever to tell you what your favorite series is fine, like the magazines used to do. I don't think comments on manga are important.
But were they not able to like write stuff on those surveys in the physical magazine beyond just a ranking?
I think they give you a small. I might be wrong about this, so don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure there's a small section where you can write in some stuff.
So I could like write down Naruto Urasawa eat shit and die.
Possibly.
It's Shonen
And you
Jump.
know what? Once a quarter, that's fine. On every single chapter that comes out every week or every month, it's not fine. You know what I mean? Like, you're entitled to your shitty opinion or your good opinion, Seamus. I don't have a real feelings about that. You're entitled to that opinion, and it's fine to express that even to the magazine. But like, the scale of it, the being able to do it constantly and incessantly and wear down an artist. I mean, I just hope that none of them are
Yeah,
looking
and
at
put it
these.
out public for others to see as well.
Yeah, like it's not. I don't think it's necessary or appropriate.
I mean, ideally, you would want it for people to like talk about like the story, or just
Mhm.
maybe say, oh, I'm concerned about this or whatever, but not not be a dick. But it's like either you don't give anyone that platform, or like it's kind of free reign, unless it's heavily moderated.
People like to be anonymous on the internet, but let me tell you, anonymous people, God sees all. God knows when you've been a troll.
But yeah, I didn't really have much to say about 2.5 Dimensional Seduction and how it's ending, but I did want to talk about those comments. So thank you for having a discussion
We
with me.
sure talked out about it though.
Yeah, we got things to say. Okay, let me end what you've been reading then. Before we get to our main segment, let's talk quickly about next week. We thought Seamus wouldn't be here next week, but he will. So we're going to use this opportunity to squeeze in a final Jianghu Journeys for 2025. Let's see, this is going to be part 8 of Jianghu Journeys. So we'll be looking at Cowboy Bebop episode 8, Michiko and Hatshin episode 9, and Samurai Champloo episode 9. So yeah, we'll be watching those episodes of our 3 shows for Jianghu Journeys next week. Stay tuned for that. Okay, everybody, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it will be time to talk about Innocent Rouge. Okay, everyone, we are back. It's time for our main segment, a Twipple Dip, even though we are only covering one book. And that is because we are looking at Innocent Rouge, the omnibus collection put out by Dark Horse for Shinichi Sakamoto's series. These are 3-in-1s. Because it was 3 volumes worth of stuff, we decided to just focus on this first omnibus collection.
Very merciful, thank you.
I can't believe in the past I was like, yeah, we'll throw in like one of these omnibuses along with 2 other volumes. What was I thinking?
We were
But yeah.
younger then,
Younger than we did that like last year.
full of big dreams.
Factually younger.
This is very true. So yeah, we have Innocent Rouge by Shinichi Sakamoto. And let's see, this is the sequel series to Innocent, which was 9 volumes, which ran in Weekly Shonen Young Jump. Sorry, not Shonen Young Jump. Weekly Young Jump, which is their seinen magazine. And so after he did 9 volumes of that, he switched over to a different magazine, Monthly Young Jump, and I believe it's Grand Jump now. Or it was Grand Jump. It's whatever, Grand Jump. And that's a monthly magazine. So now he has, a month's time to put out each of these chapters. And yeah, for localization, we have translation by Michael Gombos and lettering and retouch by Susie Lee and Studio Cutie. How cute. Let me go ahead and read the copy we have over on the Dark Horse website. At the dawn of the French Revolution, a family of executioners will set in motion the events that will change the future. Charles Henri Sanson reigns as the head of a family of executioners. His dreams of a world without execution have faded as the legacy of House Sanson takes precedence. His younger sister, Marie Joseph, stationed at the office of Versailles, lives free unshackled by the precepts of society, jeopardizes the sanctity of that legacy. Following the death of her first love, Alain, she sets herself on a crimson-soaked path of vengeance and will stop at nothing to expose the murderer and overthrow the unjust system that cost him his life.
Who on this podcast took French classes?
I actually took French, and I forgot all of it.
Technically, I took 2 years of French in high school.
I should have just taken Spanish so that I could talk with Dark Fox.
I also should have taken Spanish, but I took French, and then I ended up taking Italian.
I also should have taken Spanish so that I can speak it more formally and less Dark Foxly.
Do you speak a dialect at home, Dar?
No, no. Well, I mean, like most people from Miami have some brand of like Spanglish, but like it's we're mostly just speak Spanish, like what people would call neutral Spanish,
right? I just know, like for Italian, there are so many dialects. It's less so now; the dialects are dying out. But like my grandmother knows the dialect from her hometown, the dialect from her province, proper Italian, which is Tuscan, the dialect from my grandfather's province, and she understands Sicilian. And there's probably more in there, but that's like 5. They're basically 5 languages. They're all like very similar, but there are nuances to all of them. And Sicilian, I don't understand Sicilian. It's a different language as far as I'm concerned. So learning proper Italian means learning Tuscan specifically, only because Dante Alighieri wrote in Tuscan, and that's kind of how it became formalized. There was no formal Italian before that. So learning Italian is useful, especially if you come from an Italian-American family where everybody speaks some kind of Southern Italian dialect that nobody else knows.
And in Spanish, mostly you gotta worry about the slang. I don't, not enough to call it like a dialect, but like just tons of slang for like very basic stuff. And that gets confusing, but like you're still speaking the same language.
Is there a big difference? I don't know if you would know this. Do you know if there's a big difference between like European Spanish and then Spanish spoken in like countries colonized by Spain?
Yeah, it's primarily an accent. Is a very distinct
Mhm.
Spanish accent
Like a Catalan. I know that
that
they like
that gets made fun of incessantly.
yes.
Um, I mean, some people like Spain, some people don't like Spain. It's whatever. um, but yeah, there is some word differences, but like not a lot. It's very easy to understand. It just becomes like it's like, oh, they speak funny, which is just like
Yeah.
you know.
I think I've mentioned this before, but European Portuguese soap operas are very popular in I think in Brazil? No, vice versa. I think Brazilian soap operas are popular in Portugal, but they couldn't import Portuguese soap operas because Portuguese sounds ridiculous to Brazilian Portuguese speakers. It's, like, so different. It does. It sounds like to my ears, my very untrained ears, it sounds Russian, like,
Mm.
comparatively. Brazilian Portuguese is so, like, laid back and lyrical, and European Portuguese is very different. My grandmother had a Portuguese neighbor, so it just sounds completely different. Um, Language is fun. Anyway,
Yeah, we ended up having our tangents very early. But yeah, oh, I should talk about like in the copy they say like Marie Joseph's on this revenge tale, but she gets her revenge like in the first chapter. That's like very little of this like 3 omnibus collection.
Marie is a force. She is not human. She is a force.
This omnibus collection was more about like Charles Henry's son, who is also named Charles Henry, but
I
we'll
think
call him Henry.
Henri,
Yeah, here. Like him coming into his own, he must become an executioner and follow in the family line.
he's so
And-
cute.
And then there's some setup for like the diamond necklace incident or something.
Yes, this is a real thing, and I can explain it a little bit later if you want.
Yeah. But then there's a large section of this dedicated to the start of the Charles Henry family line of executioners, like the origins of them, which was we'll talk about that. and then I guess like the rest is like they're doing more setup for this diamond heist, and they almost execute who was it? Countess de la Motte. And they also introduced who's this really famous guy who wrote like
The Marquis de Sade.
Yes, Marquis de Sade. So a lot of like kind of setup in these first 3 volumes for what I assume will be the French Revolution.
Yeah, that's the big thing with these volumes. This is I honestly don't remember if it was brought up at all. I mean, like the aristocracy was constantly part of like the original volumes, but they're being very explicit about like the unrest in this volume, and I don't remember that with the other volumes.
Yeah, it's innocent. Like the original series, more like here's Charles Henry Sanson. He's a sad emo boy, and he doesn't want to be an executioner. But after he has sex, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm all about this life."
He's got that dog in him now.
Sure. And then his younger sister, Marie Joseph, who is a badass and probably, fictional character.
Yeah.
She is kind of like the anti-hero type, and she's awesome.
She's so good.
Morgana, are you going to shave her head just
You
like
know,
she does?
For a second I was like, shit, do I have to do that now? But
The
no,
full
I'm not.
shave?
I'm not
The
going
full
to.
shave that's a choice.
I did touch up my mohawk yesterday, actually. I needed to. But I've been maintaining it ever since I shaved it, last year before? But no, the shaved head looks good too. I do love a lady. I do love a Sinead O'Connor, shaved head look. Yeah, I think Marie Joseph is really interesting because she is a fictional character. Like all the Sanson family is real, but she is not. And she is kind of being placed as the catalyst for the French Revolution in a way that's really interesting. She's like this well, I said she was a force, not a human, and she's kind of in this position to she always gets one up on everyone. She is behind every big thing. Like, all right, let's talk about the diamond necklace.
Okay, yeah, because she hands over
The
was Indian
diamond
made diamond over to those jewelers.
that's going to be the centerpiece of the necklace. So Louis the what 15th was the king on the throne. I can't remember the numbers, but the Louis that was on the throne.
16. Wait,
Six,
the
n-
young one with
not Marie Antoinette's husband, the one right before.
the one who gets syphilis.
Yes,
The
he
15th.
yes the 15th. So his mistress was Madame du Barry,
Mm-hmm.
and this is real. He commissioned a diamond necklace for her that would bankrupt the Kingdom of France. This thing was impossible. This really happened. He really commissioned this, and for the longest time, no jeweler wanted to take this on because it was going to be exorbitantly expensive and difficult to source.
Not
Eventually,
until Charles Auguste Beaumer and Paul Bassange came along.
yes. So eventually, it was made, but by the time it was made, Louis XV was dead, and Madame du Barry, because she was at odds with Marie Antoinette, was not part of the court anymore.
She gets ousted.
Exactly. So the jewelers who made this keep trying to get Marie Antoinette to buy it because they made it for the king. You know, they made it for the kingdom, for the monarchy. And Marie Antoinette, famously not a fan of Madame du Barry, was like, "Nah, I'll pass." And this all really happened. And you know what's really funny about this? As I was reading this, I was like, wait, where did I hear about this recently? Why do I know about the affair of the diamond necklace? And it's because I was watching a random knitting related video on YouTube like a month ago, and I was like, and she happened to be making like Marie Antoinette inspired things and was talking about like the history of Marie Antoinette. Anyway, it was great. It's great, but that's why I know about the affair of the diamond necklace and how it was really a deal in France at the time, and it did cause real problems because again, extremely expensive and would bankrupt the kingdom and was just another kind of symbol of how detached the aristocracy and the monarchy were from what was going on with the peasant class who could not even afford bread.
Gotcha.
So Marie being there, Marie, who's not a real person, being there to kind of like put this in place and get those wheels turning is really interesting.
Yeah, what was it? When Marie Antoinette was introduced in Innocent, the previous series, she met Marie Joseph and she stepped on her foot, right? And she said the famous line, "Oh, pardon me, I did not mean to do that." Her last words in real life.
Yes.
It's looking more and more like Marie Joseph is going to be Marie Antoinette's executioner.
Which is definitely, for this story, feels appropriate.
Am I missing something? Is there a reason that here in Instant Rouge, it seems like Marie Antoinette is very hostile towards Marie Joseph? They have the whole dance thing, party or whatever.
I think she just feels like Marie Joseph, like, not took advantage of her, but was kind of like patronizing. You know what I mean? Because Marie
Which
Joseph,
she was.
right, super was. Listen, I love Marie Joseph. She sucks. Like, she is not the kind of person I would like to be around. But as a like symbol of feminine rage, she's the best.
Yeah, Morgan, since you're talking, you want to give your thoughts about this first omnibus collection? You said you were gonna love it.
I did. Is anybody surprised?
I'm a little surprised because of the origin story about like the Charles Henry family. That original Charles Henry, kind of a dick.
Oh, less a dick and more a dumbass. He was totally manipulated. And Shinichi Sakamoto did that thing again, where he equated a woman to a venomous plant in this case, or a you know,
like a fly trap or something.
a fly trap,
Venus
exactly.
flytrap.
It wasn't a Venus fly. It's one of the I
It's like
can't remember what it's called.
curls.
It's one of the ones that like it has this like sticky sap that it lures things
Yeah.
in with. I can't remember what it's called right now, but yes, a carnivorous plant. That's what I'm looking for.
Uranus flytrap. Get
Yes.
it? Venus, get it? I made a joke.
Teehee. But he did that in Climber with a mantis instead of a plant. But
Yep.
and I really, yeah, I mean, the original Charles Sanson is a dumbass and a rapist, and
That was so wild, by the way. It's like
it's yeah,
all the protesting he did to his cousin, was it cousin or brother? I forget.
cousin.
But then he was going, it's like, wait a second, I cannot. Oh, I forget everything I just said. It was wild.
Okay, I don't have a penis. Is it really that difficult, guys? Is it really that difficult to just keep it in your pants? Like I truly like I cannot imagine it's that hard.
I feel like when
Go
you're
rub one out
young
somewhere
and dumb
else.
and a teenager full of hormones, it is a little bit more difficult.
Well,
But also,
I don't. Okay,
I'm not trying to excuse it.
yeah. We definitely
Okay,
not trying to excuse anything. But like, this is gonna sound so? You're gonna make fun of me forever for this. Or like, was masturbation like super punishable by death back then or some shit?
I don't think it was punishable by death. It was definitely yes, historically it is a sin, right? Like that, yes.
Like maybe this guy hadn't gone off in like weeks or some shit. I don't know. Like,
Well,
like
he had his previous love that he was running away on a horse with, right? Like,
But
she was, like-
also rape is a sin too. Sex out of wedlock is a sin. Go rub one out somewhere. Leave the lady alone. Don't drag her down with you.
yeah.
But
well,
but also
in her case, she was dragging him in.
yes, it was all part of her plot. And I'm kind of fascinated by this, like up until Marie Joseph, the women of the Sanson family have manipulated the men. They have manipulated their position in the family to get as much power as they can, but they still don't have any power. And Marie Joseph is the first one to say, fuck all of this, it's stupid, and break away. And you see Charles Henri's wife, Anne, takes issue with that, is jealous, and
Fucking stabs her.
Yes, which I guess Marie Joseph walks that off because we never hear about that again. Like I said, she's not actually human, I'm pretty sure. But you do get this sense that she's jealous because she has not had the cojones to step out herself, to step outside of the bounds of society, whereas Marie Joseph is like, fuck all of y'all, I
She
do not
shatters
care.
that mirror like, fuck you.
Yeah,
It's
like I
awesome.
don't care. I am, and in this way, like if you wanted to read Marie Joseph as a genderqueer character, I think that's completely within. I think that you could do that. She is pushing the boundaries of womanhood, and she's pushing she is pushing more than any woman probably would have, even in the time. And I love her for it. I love like I said, as an embodiment of feminine rage or queer rage, she is like so good, and it consistently astounds me that Shinichi Sakamoto is such a normie, like as a person, like, or appears to be, because the things that come out of his brain are so transgressive in a really weird way.
Maybe he gets to express that all through his manga.
Hey, I mean, it's great. And as I've said before, if literally anyone else did this manga, I don't think I would like it as much as I do. Because like that whole bit with the Marquis de Sade, I was like, this is terrible. I hate it. but also it's beautiful. So I'm here for it.
Oh yeah, we've been praising Shinichi Sakamoto's artwork on this podcast for a long while, and this Innocent Rouge does not disappoint. All the art for every scene is fucking fantastic. Whether
Uh,
it be beautiful people, naked sex scenes, crazy viscera gore, or
Extreme
this,
sadomasochism resulting in murder.
the fucking King Louis XV, like pus-filled face.
Smallpox.
Oh yeah,
And then there's the
Jesus.
syphilis guy too. There's a different guy, but also
Mhm.
him. Yeah.
Yep.
I will say, so I read the print version of this because I get the print version.
Jealous.
They're beautiful. I will say one of the problems, because this is a 3-in-1 chunky ass omnibus, is that any 2-page spread, the center of it gets stuck right in the center of the pages. So like, I can't remember where it was, but there's a big old, I think it's Charles Henri sitting at a table, like at a dinner table or something, with the portraits of his family in the background, and he's smack in the middle, and you cannot see his face because it's
we had
in the
an
gutter.
advantage reading the digital version, boys.
Yes, there is that advantage because it's such a thick book, and I don't want to break the spine. So that is a drawback of the big print omnibuses. But otherwise, I do like holding it in my hand, and there's some color art at the end, which I'm sure is in the digital too.
It is, and the digital version, like all the 2-page spreads are perfectly aligned, so
Nice.
that's nice. Although they are zoomed out on the Kindle app, which sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're pretty
are.
small. You gotta like pinch zoom.
But at least you can see the whole thing. There
Mhm.
were a few where I was like, I can't see this. It seems important.
I forget if I said this for the RCO, but like the intricacy of the art really makes it tough on digital. Like I have a phone though. If I had a bigger tablet, then maybe it'll be fine. But yeah, like I just wished I had it in print.
We gotta start a Kofi get Darfox a tablet.
Yeah,
Goal.
maybe.
That'll have to wait until we send Seamus to come and catch.
Yeah.
Yep. I got in there first.
I read it. I read this on my computer monitor, and my computer monitor is nice and big, so it was nice. But yeah, let's quickly turn to Seamus. Seamus, what did you think of Innocent Rouge 1?
I don't know. I think like Dara was saying, it felt like an awful lot of setup for the French Revolution. They were like, all right, now we need to like be like show where we're going with all this. It's like, oh look, here's the Marquis de Sade, and here's the affair of the necklace. Oh, and we'll throw Robespierre in as well, just so you know he's around.
Not enough gore and viscera for you. I think you said that about the last omnibus for Innocent as well.
Not there was fair amount of gore and viscera. I think it's just the more it's getting to the French Revolution, it's getting closer to actual history. This kind of was my issue with the end of like Ohoku as well, where it's like the closer you get to that, you're kind of losing me because actual history to me is nearly always more interesting and like it's like you're trying to like meld them together in a way that I think it's very hard to do in a way I find interesting. It's like you're saying like Marie Joseph is almost becoming like this like, pivotal figure, even though she doesn't really exist. She doesn't actually exist. Manipulating stuff in the background. The one thing because I don't, he's been doing this for a while. I think he doesn't do this in DRCL Children, but he starts like every volume is like a quote from him.
Oh yeah, that was an Innocent as well.
Yeah.
It's not a quote from like a book or anything. It's a quote from him.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, this shit crazy.
Yeah, basically. Oh, Seamus, what did you think about the origins of the Sanson family? It was a flashback.
I thought it was appropriately demented. Where they're like, oh, he rapes her. It's like, no, she knew he was going to rape her. So he wanted to show so that way like she could trap him. I was like, this is good. It's like Morgana saying, like, anybody else. Maybe not anybody else. So many other people, if they tried this, I'd be like, would you touch? Oh, like, I'd be like, all right, I'm done. I'm walking away. Like, this is. But him, I'm like, Yeah, it's a fucked up world. You know what you're gonna do?
Look at this
You know,
two-page spread of like original Sanson on top of like, was it Marguerite? Was her name?
yes.
Yeah.
And
It's
all
like
the
I guess if you see your sister getting cut in half in a forest, at that point you'll do anything. Fair enough.
that was one of the most fucked up visuals there.
The crushed face thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
like
Yeah.
In a book
oh.
full of fucked up visuals, it was the
Yeah.
fuckedest updest of visuals.
You know what? I think it's part of it is like the happenstance and like the freak action of it, because if you're on a chopping block, yeah, you're gonna get chopped up by the executioner, but like having a tree fall on you, there's a different kind of like mental like horror to that one. It's just like you just crushed. God hates you.
There's also that was it Marguerite's sister or something?
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking of. I was like,
Oh, okay.
after you see that with your sister, go on, fuck it, you might as well just like decide to make a man think he raped you for the sake of getting out of the situation you're in.
Yeah, that was like she was split in half and her entrails were all over the tree and then her mouth was like split open.
That's some like, if Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark was way more adult, that's the kind of image I feel like would come. Do you know what I mean? Like those
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
illustrations that were like really horrifying. They're great, but yeah, it's like take it to the nth level, and there you have it. I will say, I'm a little disappointed that Charles Henri and Marie Joseph are at odds, because Charles Henri was her only ally in childhood, and I've already expressed my disappointment about how normy he's become. I will say, I want to give him a modicum of credit for doing the most he can within the confines of what's expected of him. Like he tries to delay, like that girl who delivered a baby. She's due for execution, and he tries to delay it long enough for her to get pardoned and just misses the mark. And he kind of is like, that sucks. That's too bad, because he's jaded. But like in his way, working within the confines of the system, he is trying to make a difference, right? He delivers condoms to the sex workers, things like. But Marie Joseph, on the other hand, is like, fuck the system. This is fucked up. Let's riot and let's, change the way things are instead of working within the confines. So she is, to me, she's the one who's doing the right thing, and in many ways the only one who can, because I think I mentioned this before with Innocent. Being a woman, she is at a disadvantage in so many more ways than her brother, because he's going to have a whole lot more privilege and a whole lot more leverage than she ever will.
That was kind of an interesting arc because that was at the beginning of this where you're following like his son and then he can't stand the execution that he witnesses. Like it seems like he's a little too big for this life. Then he watches like Charles Henry help deliver that baby. But then they're sitting at dinner. He's like, "Yeah, Dad, you did a great job." It's like, "Yes, now we can execute her." It's like, what? And yeah, after the execution, you find out that he wanted to hold out to, give her the pardon. But, at that dinner scene, Morgana, that's,
Yeah.
He seems like very monstrous.
Yeah. And again, as I was reading the delivery, I'm like, wow, what a hero. He's going to save this woman. And to be clear, cesarean sections did not work at this time in history. It was, I think, the first successful cesarean where the mother and baby both made it didn't happen until at least the 19th, possibly the 20th century.
Oh, yeah. I was just like, this is
Yeah.
this can't be true.
Yeah. No way. But it's a nice fantasy. I will say a lot of fiction that deals with doctors will bend to the truth of medicine and history just to make a more dramatic story frequently. So I'm somewhat used to it, but
I mean, she got executed anyway, so
yeah, I know. It
she
just
did not live.
Such a waste. Also, That wasn't murder. That was accidental death. By the
Oh,
way.
you mean her pushing
Yep.
her
Yep.
like rapist or
She
whatever down the
did not
stairs?
murder him. She
Hold
pushed
on
him
now,
away
Dr.
from
Sue.
her.
That was her husband. No rape.
That was her rapist. But also she didn't kill him. I mean, she didn't murder him. She killed him, but that's manslaughter versus murder, friends. That was accidental death. Death of self-defense. She should not have been hanged for that.
He
Just
was an
by
aristocrat,
the way.
wasn't he? Yeah. So.
Yep. And I realized the rules don't apply, and France's laws at the time may be different than the current laws of the United States. Likely they were. But I'm just saying, that is not like premeditated murder. She didn't do it on purpose. She was lucky. I don't think she felt bad about it, and she shouldn't have. But because he sucked.
Yeah.
Although, to be honest, she also sucked a little bit. Her whole like, commoners, you terrible, whatever, blah. And I'm like, okay, like, I get it. You're angry and young, and you delivered a baby way before you should have, and a whole lot of things happened to you. But like, could you suck a little less? But I have to say, I do kind of appreciate that Shinichi Sakamoto doesn't make any character absolute. Like, absolutely somebody you can get behind or absolutely somebody you hate. I feel like most of his characters have some sympathy to them and also some darkness. Which
I mean, the main ones.
Yeah. I would say most of them, though. Like,
There was that one. Who was it? It was like a captain or soldier, and he was the one that.
Oh yeah, he sucked.
Defiled like Marie. Yeah, that guy sucked.
Yeah, that sucked. But in general, I just mean like a lot of the main players,
they're not just black and white. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, they're more human, right? They're more complex characters. They have good points and bad points, like real people.
Darfox, we didn't ask you yet. What did you think of this omnibus collection? Did you finish it?
I finished it, yeah. Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I like other French Revolution stuff just because it's like more recognizable to me as like a history noob than like any other stuff done before. My only issue with it is that it does feel kind of 0 to 60. It just feels like there was like little to know of it before, and now once Rouge started, like this is really like the French Revolution story arc, and this is they're really bringing it. It almost feels like in a way you could almost start reading. I mean, you miss so much about the main characters, but like, like they introduce so much more of the aristocracy and stuff like that. That almost just feels like it's its own thing right here. You could start reading it here. But yeah, I mean, I liked the stories. I mean, it's all like really fucked up stuff. So but I like the stories with like the Sanson family and stuff like that. It felt like this came back to even though it wasn't always Charles Henri himself. It kind of felt like this came back to Charles in a big way because before this the manga was very Marie Joseph oriented.
Yeah, at the end of Innocent, yeah.
I agree.
So I like that, even though I agree that Marie Joseph is a character that I am personally more aligned with in kind of like in a moral, or at least the morality I want to see portrayed in this story kind of way. And Charles Henry, I mean, like they're good contrasts for each other because like you said, he's trying to work within the confines, and in many ways he's perpetuating the same system he dislikes. And you see a lot of that here. But yeah, I guess I like his contradictions and his weird. He's a pretty weird character. He's pretty unique, and very different from Mary Joseph. So I like seeing him again and kind of like it coming back to him. Yeah, and I don't know what else to say. It was I guess I'll say that like as something that like I didn't like so much. Not that I think it was bad, but like during like the ballroom scene, and they're just constantly like showing you all these characters and plaques of characters. I'm like, okay, I know like most, if not all, of these characters are historical figures. Well, like it's too much. Like I, it's like add to that all like the frilly stuff and all the extreme detail on the page. It was like sensory overload. Like reading those pages.
Too many hair curls for Darfox.
Yeah, literally too many hair. My personal hair is curling right now. So like I couldn't escape it. It was in my manga. It was in my hair. It was everywhere.
Life imitates art.
Yeah.
All those beautiful, like, authentic dresses that Shinichi Sakamoto put on his assistants.
It's some really impressive like art in this stuff. And you know, I think we talk about it every single time we read one of his books, but his process of using digital stuff is really impressive. And also like I think if you explain it to like a manga fan, they won't like the fact that like he has a library of hairs that he moves around and places on characters. But like when you read the book, you understand why it's necessary. Like,
Oh yeah.
like there's no way anybody can draw this. Even like a team of people can draw this in any reasonable amount of time. And he has like so many consistently released and quality stuff. It's just kind of like really impressive. Like amazing workflow he created.
He's not taking shortcuts.
Yeah.
Like his hair library is not a shortcut. You know what I mean? He
It is-
created all of those. It's not like
Yeah.
he's using somebody else's brushes.
It is just one of his tools, and it doesn't make his life
Exactly.
easier. If
No.
anything, it probably makes his life more hell.
Because he has to then decide which ones to use.
Mhm.
And he always touches it up too, because he doesn't just drop it on. Like he has to like make
Blend it
sure
in.
it's the right perspective and add the strains and draw over certain things. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's just
I don't think it's all that new either. I think Mizuki had like a reference library of stuff, like his
Yeah.
assistants all used as well. I guess
People
it's
have
probably
been
the same
using
with
that.
what's the Golgo 13 man whose name I can't remember.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Takao Saito. Yeah. It's not like it's one, I think it's really obvious when you see copy paste stuff and you're like, this seems like a shortcut because it's obvious. In most cases, manga artists work hard to make sure that it is not obvious.
So, fun fact, my boss went to Japan at the beginning of November, and there was a Shinichi Sakamoto exhibit going on right now. And he was like, "Morgana, why didn't you tell me how amazing this was?" And I was like, "I absolutely did tell you."
Your
But
boss needs to listen to our podcast.
he does. He has in the past. He has not in a long time, but he is now reading Innocent for the first time, and I was like, I'm telling you, this is like my favorite manga of the last few years. Like I can't even express to you how amazing it is. But he was really he's like, they look like J-Rock stars. Like just like and I'm like, absolutely. Like there's absolutely, and that is also like part of Shinichi Sakamoto's, like, I don't know. He's got this like goth J-Rock sensibility about him too. He's such a weird guy. Why he's so weird. I love him. I want to meet him. I'm fascinated by him. I feel like I want to have a conversation with this man.
You're just gonna come away from that conversation being like, you are so normal.
It's
You're
like,
married. You seem very centered.
I think he has like a kid. Like just
Yeah,
like a normal guy.
That's because it hasn't come out like about all the fucked up shit he's doing.
No. No. Let me have this. No, because you know what? Junji Ito is also like a super normie. His stuff is not fucked up like this, but it's weird. And I just would like to believe that, like me, there are people out there with some really weird things living in their heads who are in general like decent people. You know what I mean?
I think they say that for a lot. Right? Like all the people who write horror and thriller and really, really scary stuff are actually like their actual personality is like the opposite. And then comedians all have like
Pretty
depression.
dark. Yeah. Yeah, I hear Stephen King's a nice guy.
Yeah.
I don't know much about him other than that. I know that he has a season pass to see the Red Sox. and that he lives in Maine.
I feel like Rob Zombie, who directed a lot of horror movies, kind of like a weird guy. Although I'm sure he's very nice.
I
But
think he's a cool dude. I believe it was Rob Zombie who came out in defense of baby metal when a whole bunch of people were like, "This isn't real metal," and he was like, "Dude,
right,
this is totally metal." Because he understands that half of what it is to be metal is to put on a show. Because Rob Zombie was all about putting on a show. He seems like a cool dude.
yeah, I think he is. And I'm one of the I'm not one of the only people, but I actually like his Halloween remake. People hate that movie for some reason, but it's kind of cool. I like it.
Have you seen the second one?
No,
Or the
I heard
first
second one is really weird. The second one, like,
I
goes,
thought the first one was okay. I think the second one is way better. But I
Yeah.
also am someone who has no attachment to the rest of those movies. I'm just like, where he's going with this is interesting.
yeah. No, I've heard that like in the second one, Mike Myers is like, or Michael Myers, is like he doesn't even wear the iconic mask or anything. He's just like a dude. He's just a character in this story, which is why people hate it. But yeah, it does sound interesting.
For about his sister. Yeah, it's an interesting movie. And the movie he did that his wife was in, that I can't remember the name of.
Something about the witches.
Lord of Salem, is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
That one's really good as well. Actually, to be fair, his wife is also the mother in the Halloween movies.
Yeah, I like his movie. I haven't seen a lot of his movies, but like it's a take. It's interesting.
Somewhat related because of Rob Zombie. When we went to Salem back in October, I absolutely saw a hearse driving by with the license plate Dragula. And I was like, that person is living their absolute best life. I wish I was that person with a hearse with the license plate Dragula.
That's like that's just I would never be that person where I just like put that much time into modifying a vehicle that way. But like, there's people who like modify their van to look like a starship from Star Trek and stuff like that. Just like,
Oh, it was a real hearse. I mean, you can just buy a hearse. It's a thing you can do. I would love one. I've mentioned that I am not in much communication with my father, but I know for a span of time he owned a hearse. Once upon a time, I would like one. It seems like an incredibly impractical vehicle for a mother of 2 small children, though. Like, do you put the car seats in the back where the corpse goes, or
Couldn't you just like strap them down like they're a corpse?
Exactly, yeah. There's got to be a way, right?
One thing, has anyone here read Rose of Versailles? Because I was reading this and I was like, maybe I need to read Road of Versailles.
I
See how much
haven't.
he's actually pulling up. Is like, because I'm curious, like, is he like, to me? I was thinking like, Mary Joseph. Is she like Oscar?
Oscar, yeah. That's a good question. I own the first volume of Rose of Versailles. I should read it. This era of French history was like really popular in Japan, especially in like shoujo manga for a really long time. Like Oscar in Rose of Versailles and like Chevalier d'Eon, I think, is also kind of a big character. She makes an appearance in Ghost and the Lady. It's also
Wasn't
kind
that
of
an anime series like
yes,
20 years ago as well?
yes, I think so. So yeah, this like period, which is really funny. I actually, as a person who enjoys history on kind of a casual basis, I will say I'm not that interested in the French Revolution. I don't know why. It's not that I'm not interested. I don't seek it out. But once again, Shinichi Sakamoto has made me put things into my eyeballs that I normally would not take truck with. So here we are with the French Revolution in my face.
What we're going to do next is we're all going to learn French, and we're going to read the late 1800s, whatever 20-volume history of it. It's meant to be like written by someone who is like in love with it. I was seeking out, but it turns out no, they only published like 1 or 2 volumes. But I do have a biography of the guy, but a guy who wrote Dead at the Order.
I'm gonna be out that week.
Don't worry, Dr. Zoo. It's the next 10 years.
I was gonna
Okay,
say 20
jeez.
volumes. I mean,
I don't know how long those volumes are given the 1800s, but I was like, oh man, Maybe I really do need to seriously get back to the whole learning French thing. It's meant to be a great, like, the guy is like totally pro French Revolution in a way where I'm like, I think I'd enjoy this book. I just need to learn to be able to read French from the 1800s.
Yeah, that's like not normal French. It's gonna be like, it's like, I mean, if you wanted to read English material from maybe not the 1800s, but further back, you'd basically need to learn a different version of English.
Oh, getting back to the manga real quick.
Oh wait, what?
Oh, you mean the thing we're supposed to be talking about?
You know, I'm gonna say it's like the third volume section of this omnibus. It's after the previous king dies, right? And then Louis the 16th officially becomes king. They have the coronation ceremony. He's like, my dear wife Antoinette, look at me. I finally become king, and like it shows her like her heart's being like pierced by like a star that shoots out from his wand. I thought that was like, huh? Because, you know, they didn't have the best relationship, but then there's a drawing of them naked together on sitting on the throne. And then it goes right back to the ball where like he seems very uninterested. So I was like, what just happened? What is this?
They got caught up in the rush of the coronation.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it was just like the romanticization of, you know, the
Now that he's king.
Yeah.
the royal
He
class.
fucked that
and-
horse. Oh, Dar, you weren't here for that conversation.
No, I think I was.
You were, yeah, no, that was Buddha, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like maybe he gained some confidence after his coronation and then was kind of thrown back into a social situation where he did not have the confidence. I feel like this is okay. I believe that Louis XVI enjoying locks is historically accurate, and I know that Louis and Marie Antoinette had a really cordial marriage, but I think a pretty hands-off marriage. I don't think they had a whole lot of sexy time. So I think that's all accurate. I do feel like we're really seeing a presentation of Louis as like not neurotypical. He's not capable of handling crowds. He would rather go play with his locks than socialize or deal with affairs of state. Which may or may not be, you know, the reading of him as neurodivergent may or may not be historically accurate, but I feel like that's kind of being implied where he's very much, he's not interested in sex, he's not interested in people, but he is a very sensitive and very caring person. He's just not good at social stuff. But I feel like this is his like intense fascination with locks and the satisfaction that he gets from solving a lock is like, I don't know, as somebody who also hyperfixates.
Isn't he kind of like the main guy from Climbers?
Right? Yeah. Scared of sex.
But you know, the main
Maury.
guy in Climbers is just a guy who climbs mountain, not the king of the biggest country in
In Europe, yeah.
1700 Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. God, why is Shinichi Sakamoto so obsessed with sexual anxiety? You know what? I don't want to know the answer to the question actually. Why did I say that? Nope.
Okay, thanks for answering that. Because, like, the rest of that, like, the end of this omnibus where they are doing more setup, introducing, like, Marquis de Sade, and also we see a lot of Countess, or the future Countess de la Motte. That all, like, kind of made sense, you know. Here's a woman who was, like, you know, every man bows to her, and then she gets arrested, bad things happen to her, she almost gets executed, but she's pardoned. Puts Charles Henry under her foot, literally. That all seems like appropriate setup. I got that. And then there's also a character introduced, a super handsome man, Alex de Fursten.
It was Axel.
Does anyone know why he called Mary Antoinette Little Miss Nipples? Is that like
I have no
something from the
idea.
earlier volumes we just all forgot?
I could not
Yeah.
remember. I mean, I guess that would get my attention too if somebody called me that. I don't think I'd be like, wow, I'm in love with this person. I'd be like, who the fuck are they and why do they think they're allowed to talk to me like that? I'm the fucking queen.
But he wasn't in it before.
He was, yes.
I don't remember any other mention of Mrs. Nipples.
I'm just kind of more excited to read the next omnibus to see where it goes. It is out. I think actually Dar, on our stream you have the volume 2 out
Yeah,
instead of volume 1.
yeah. Blame it on time.
Okay.
It's a good cover. Fun fact, in case you didn't already know it, Marquis de Sade is where we get the word sadism.
No surprise there.
Yeah, I was talking to my husband about it after. I was like, I know this is where we get the word sadism, but like, is that true? Like, did the word sadism not exist before the 1700s? And turns out it did not. Obviously, there are other ways of explaining the concept of sadism, but the term itself did not exist until the Marquis de Sade. I think he published his own like memoirs or something. And he was a very extreme case of sadism. He was like, I mean, he got off on killing people, I'm pretty sure. So, not
Okay, then the representation that we have here in Instant Rouge seems to be very accurate.
yeah,
Jesus.
not one of those guys who is a complex character that I was talking about earlier. Like, he's just kind of terrible.
Oh, and you know, I was wrong. The second omnibus does not come out until May of next year. So we're gonna have to wait for our next update on Instant Rouge, unfortunately.
Okay. I guess I can wait.
Morgana's like, I guess I'll continue this podcast until we can finish all the Instant Rouge.
Come on. It's like another, what, year, 2 years? This will be fine. How long did Rouge go?
12 volumes, so there's gonna be 4 of these.
Okay. I can stick around till then. And then whatever other Shinichi Saga mode. I mean, I guess DRCL is probably still ongoing, right?
Yes, it is still ongoing.
All right, you've got me for at least as long as that's going.
Good to know. Is there anything else in this first omnibus that we haven't covered that you want to talk about? So we have been going for a while. I guess we only lightly talked about the ballroom dance sequence, or Marie Joseph shows up with like a doll.
A mannequin thing.
She's pulling a, what's the wrestler that wrestled a doll in Japan, Seamus? Was it Kenny?
Takazu.
No.
There's a lot of people who wrestle that doll.
No, but you're thinking of the other golden lover.
I'm thinking of
What's his name?
Ibushi.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, that's the one I saw on YouTube.
What's the doll? Yoshihiko? Is that the rest? Is that the
The
doll's
doll
name?
has a name. Of course it does.
Yeah, that doll's like a regular like.
The doll's a regular.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I've seen multiple matches with that doll wrestle.
Oh my god! People pop and people get excited. It's like, oh, did you see? Yoshihiko has a match.
Well,
The
like
card.
I would say if you want to know someone a good wrestler, can they have a good match with that doll?
Or
I'm
in
pretty
this
sure.
case,
I think I saw one like last time I was in Japan. I've seen that at least once. I have seen that doll in a match.
Like
wrestle
Okay.
IRL.
I think there was like they were like going for tag team for a while.
I mean, Marie Joseph pulls it off here at the ball with the help of her manservant. I always forget that guy's name. Andre. Good old Andre. Is there anything else?
I don't know, you probably don't know this. But there was like an image at the start with Mary Joseph where like she's like leading a group. It's almost, I don't know, is it meant to be going to be like where it's going to go, or is it like just throwing our imagination of like leading a group of revolutionaries? I was looking at it and I was like, he's taking this from somewhere, but I don't know where. It's like a painting or something from a movie, or she's like walking in front. She's kind of got like the sword by her side.
Oh, isn't that famous? There's a famous one where a woman has her hand up during the French
Oh,
Revolution.
yes.
That's not the French Revolution.
It's not?
What's that painting though? Do you know?
Yes, I know the painting. I actually think that painting is a later one.
Oh, okay.
That one, she's like holding up the flag.
Yes, okay. The painting is called Liberty Leading the People, commemorating July Revolution of 1830 that toppled King Charles X.
That's a pub quiz question right there. What picture is that about?
Maybe it's just inspired by that with the flag? Because that's the one that comes to mind.
No. Oh, hold on. Is this? I was trying to figure out, is it just like a common kind of pose she's in?
Standing there with her executioner sword.
I was like, maybe that's the bit of it. It's just the way like she's standing with the sword out. Is that just like, oh, like something that there's probably like half a dozen movie posters or book covers that are like that.
Yeah,
People
it
in
could
the
be that.
background.
But you know, we've seen him reference what was it in the original series? It was Marie Joseph kissing Marie Antoinette, and that was that famous, was it Morgana the Kiss?
Yeah, by Klimt.
Mm-hmm. So he's definitely done that before.
What they mention in the notes at the end, the bit where Mary Antoinette like draws her name as a reference to a Purikura photo. Pronouncing that right?
Oh, that's the if you go to Japan, they have those photo booths that like all the teenagers go in. They take pictures and then it prints out these stickers that you can share with your friends. They have like filters and stuff like you have on like TikTok or whatever, and you can like draw whatever on it. That's purikura. But yeah, is that it? Okay. Darfox, give me your thoughts on Innocent Rouge. Final thoughts, and if you want to keep reading Innocent Rouge. What if Darfox says no? What will happen?
Ain't nothing happening if Don Fox says no.
He doesn't have to be part of this podcast. It's fine.
Kick him off.
I like it, and like I said, I now have some touchstone in recognizable history. I like a good old eat the rich storyline, so this is the original, at least for like modern references. So yeah, I'm curious to see how they keep weaving this stuff in, and also how like Charles Henri and Mary Joseph coexist in the post-revolution time, if at all.
We shall see. Morgana, give us your final thoughts on Innocent Rouge, the continuation of Innocent.
I still love it. I'm still in it for the long haul.
You're
I'm
gonna get a
not.
poster of that blue Charles Henri naked with the sword at the
That
end of
is
the.
really beautiful. Actually, fun fact: my boss did send me a print from that exhibition, and I think he's going to be sending me a few more goodies. So
Nice.
I'm very excited. I gotta get a frame for that print. But yeah, I'm here. I'm excited. I love that this series exists.
Very nice. And Seamus?
I liked it, but yeah, it did feel like okay, we're kind of more setting things up. Maybe that are just getting used to like it's like well, I need like a higher level of violence now after 9 volumes.
I'm sure Shinichi Sakamoto won't disappoint. I say as if I haven't like read this one's in Japanese.
I this was more the like disfigurement with the like 2 people with syphilis and the guy with the burnt face.
Horrific stuff. Yeah, I'm excited to read this with the other hosts. I'm especially excited to read this in English where I can understand everything. Especially, well, sort of. I can at least understand what's happening. I don't I don't know the history that much. So the characters not so much, but it is easier to parse in English. So that's nice. But yeah, that will end this Twipple Dip on the Omnibus collection of Instant Rouge, Volume 1. And yeah, let's go ahead and end the podcast. Thanks to Darfox, Morgana, and Seamus for joining me. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure to subscribe, review, rate our podcast on places like Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can find us. Check out our website, mangamachinations.com. Our Tumblr is mangamachinations.tumblr.com. You can join our Discord. Head over to discord.me/mangamac. Check out our YouTube channels, youtube.com/mangamactv. We also have Manga Mac Watches and Nakayoshi Gaming. If you want to financially support us, buy us a coffee, head over to ko-fi.com/mangamac. You can send emails over to mangamachinations@gmail.com or follow us on social media at Manga Mac Podcast. That's Manga MAC Podcast. We're mostly on Blue Sky, but we also have Twitter, Instagram, everything else. Or you can follow our personal social media. Follow me at Dakazu. Follow Darfox at Darfox8. Follow Morgana at Morgana Relina. And follow Seamus at Seamus2389. Remember, Seamus is spelled without an H. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to us this week. Bye-bye.